Hi there, I hope the quiz went well for you, and what we're going to be learning and talking about next is very familiar to you as well. So please get your guided notes out and open it up to page 3, or if I had numbered that guided notes, that what page would have been, page 3 would have been, and this should look familiar. We have already studied the multiplication property of equality and the division property of equality, so please pause and copy down the addition property of equality and the subtraction property of equality. And again, I hope they make sense, that if you have two things equal to each other, if you change the equation by adding something on the left-hand side, you have to add the same on the right, and that same goes with subtraction. So please pause and get that put into your notes right now. Now the next thing I'm going to have you look at is down at the bottom of the page. And I hope you guys don't have that typo in there, right there. That's weird. Didn't notice that. So what we are going to be doing is problems that have plus signs or minus signs in them. Now I don't know if you noticed, but before the problems were all multiplication going on between the coefficient and the variable. Well, now we are trying to solve what number increased by 8 is equal to negative 30. And so what I've done below is I've rewritten the problem in blue, and I've shown that what I want to do, because remember what I'm trying to finally get to is that variable isolated, is I want that positive 8 to go away. Well, I can do that by adding or subtracting 8. And those are called additive inverses of each other. I don't really care if you remember that or not. That equals 0. And over here, negative 30 minus 8 is negative 38. The next problem is what number minus 13 is equal to 40? Well, again, I am going to rewrite that problem. What number minus 13 is equal to 40? And I get it. You probably can do that in your head, but I need you to show the work. If we are trying to isolate that variable d, we want it to be d equals whatever I add to one side of the equation, I have to add to the other. So it looks like in this case, 53 decreased by 13 would give me 40. Now the next examples get a little trickier. You have to think about what they're really saying. And the concept here is that we are going to add the opposite, or we're going to do the opposite. So just because there's a plus sign that says what number increased by negative 3 is equal to 15, well, what number plus negative 3 is equal to 15? Remember what we want to do is we want to get that x, that variable, isolated. We want that negative 3 to be gone. Now I get it, there's a plus sign in front of it, but what makes a negative 3 go away and cancel out is to add 3. I know that you see that plus sign and you might say, oh, I'm going to subtract 3, but no. A negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. Nothing would go away. But the opposite, the additive inverse of negative 3 is positive 3. And then the property of equality of addition says if I add 3 to the left, I have to add 3 to the right. And it looks like my answer here would be 18. And last but not least is that good old double negative. What number decreased by negative 2 is equal to negative 26? Well, I hope that you know by now that two negatives make a positive, and you are going to want to simplify that equation first. And if I had been planning a little better, I would have spaced that out. So again, I want to get an H equal equation. So I want that plus 2 to go away, and I'm going to do that by using the subtraction property of equality. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. That cancels out, and I would get that the number would be negative 28. Okay, that's all you needed to do for right now. Tomorrow when we have work time in class, I'll ask for questions, and then you'll get to show me your magic that you know how to do problems that use addition property of equality and subtraction property. Okay, bye. I'll see you later then, whenever. Okay, bye.